Oh, I took a nap. Hey, me JJ, owner of Bright Idea Records and producer of video games and more. And this is an election year. I hope that you remember to vote virus. Vote virus. That's a joke. And a reference. It goes back to the year 2008, I think. But, the funny thing about the elections is it gives you a choice, right? Rock the vote, right? And that's good because if you didn't have that choice, you'd be ruled by tyrants, right? Dictators, people that don't give you choices. It's like, even though in a democracy, as a constituent, it seems like your choice in the matter of the whole fucking outcome of the whole fucking shit show, it seems like your input is very small and insignificant. Because it is. But that tiny, small, insignificant contribution to the direction this ship is sailing in, yeah. And by the way, this isn't a ship, it's a planet. It's not sailing, it's orbiting. But I digress, and I know exactly where it's going. The same place it's gone the past 43 times I've been on that ride. But, yeah. So that contribution in the form of a vote, a constituent, a real vote, it seems like a small contribution and an insignificant one, because it basically is. But that small, insignificant contribution is basically better. It's a better chance to get your agenda to happen. A better chance than any other chance. It's like a better shot than a certain outcome. An outcome where you get a 50-50 chance. Well, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yeah, but you see, I'd like to think of myself as a glass half full kind of person as opposed to a glass half empty kind of person, right? So therefore, yes, I know defeat is imminent, and that victory is not, and that loss is guaranteed. Failure and rejection, and lots of it. But it sure is fun trying to steer the ship every once in a while, isn't it? Not fun? Oh, that's right. The fun part is when you almost crash. Yeah. It's not the act of steering the ship. It's the part where everybody almost dies. That's the fun part. Did I tell you I was playing the Adams Family pinball game and they said I'm officially a family member? So, and after that last thing I said, I'll bet that makes sense, huh? Dude, I don't have a morbid curiosity. It's the other way around. It's more like the morbidity is curious about me. But I digress. I find it ironic, that with the whole democracy thing, it's a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. Which, by the way, is a fantastic program. Ridley Scott's numbers, really par excellence, I think. I know it's kind of old, but then again, I'm kind of old, so. And I still like to talk about my old accomplishments. No matter how many decades old they are. Let's see, how many revolutions around the sun has it been since that last time? No, where was I? I find it to be degrading and humiliating and also patronizing and also cruel to take a logical person like me that enjoys numbers and beat me over my head with my own numbers. My own numbers. You try to tell me numbers and statistics, and then ultimately you tell me, oh, and because I live in a democracy, the correct, which by the way is the majority, the correct side always wins in a democracy. The majority, they are our white knights, and the minority, they are our dark, twisted souls, are they not? Yeah. And then you take a numbers guy like me and try to tell me that the numbers have all been worked out. And it's in my favor. Congratulations. I'm a winner. I live in America. Yeah, I was born here. I still live here, is what you should say. Nothing's changed for me. Nothing. Not even people. Because the majority and the minority, they just trade places every other decade. Like a trend. It's like one decade Blade Runner is really popular. The next decade 1984 is. Go figure. And you don't want me to be schizo. Yeah, right. Good luck at that. Me. Good luck to myself at not being schizo. From living in a schizo nation. 21st century schizoid cool dude. The 21st century cool dude. Oh, yeah. But I think that that's a really crummy way to make me a sore loser. Is by taking numbers and rearranging them to try to convince me that things are all logical. All logical. Like, all is logical in the world. Like as if a Vulcan made it, right? You know what? I think I would prefer a world made by data. Because the Vulcans, they're still a little too fallible. Even though they're made up in science fiction. Yeah. Those pointy ears are so ridiculous, aren't they? I wonder if they have pointy cocks to go along with them. Yeah, it's just funny. It's a reference to how humiliating it is to be a self-aware, intelligent biological organism. Yeah. Yeah, it's real graceful. I know. Uh, I don't really know what the best. I figure as a numbers guy, if 99% of the time, sorry, I'm not gonna fall into that trap. I was gonna start to beat you over the head with the numbers, just like I get beaten over the head. But if I beat you over the head as badly as I've been beaten over my head with the numbers, well, there won't be any brains left to go around, because I'll have beaten all your brains out. Feels like mine have been. Because it's like, for every action, there's a reaction. Oh, and by the way, that reaction, it's always random. That's a law. Did you know that? Because I say so. And there's only one of me here, and I'm the majority. See how that works? Real fair, right? Yeah, election year. That's cool, man. Well, spend your vote wisely. I probably will do what I usually do, but I don't know. It's in the future, and not even I know the future. That's why every time I feel suicidal, I say, "Oh, but you don't know what tomorrow brings." More suicidal feelings, probably, but you don't know that. Uh, okay. You know, and that probably, there's a lot of ways to interpret that. You know, I if I ever talk about like mortality in that way, like as if it's a game, like as if we're competing for our lives. If I ever start to talk about life like it's a game, I'm probably trying to make a point about how it's not a game. But what was that last thing? I was gonna try it. Oh yeah, there's a lot of ways you can interpret that thing about, feeling suicidal. Because some people get suicidal because they're so racked with guilt. They got so much blood on their hands that it makes them wish they were dead. And the thought of suicide might cross that person's mind because they're so racked with guilt. Yeah, mine is, it's more like it's like uncle. Like when, quit twisting my arm. Uncle, I give up. That's more like I think of suicide as giving up. It's like, uncle, I've had enough. Motherfuckers. Nobody listens to me. I've had enough. I'm not guilty. I have nothing to be guilty about because I don't hurt people. And, if I've ever hurt myself, I forgive me. There. It's okay. So that's that. I'm not guilty of shit. But you all should be. If you think about it. If you think about any of the videos I've ever made, you should be guilty. Spend your vote wisely. World's going to hell in a handbasket.